Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to look at my top 25, that's right, 25 favorite American beauty brands, and we'll make it in honor of July 4th because it is America's birthday. That being said, let me back up a little bit. This isn't a overly patriotic video or America's the best or anything like that. No. And the timing just worked out. You see, the other day I was getting together some description bars and whatnot, and lately I've really been putting where products are made and, you know, how much, when they go bad and and I was, doing all that, and I thought, my gosh, every brand I love is from France or Britain. I mean, think about it. Think about the designers, And then I thought, no, Laura Mercier, oh, French. Dior, France. Chanel, France. Charlotte Tilbury, England. Pat McGrath, England. Wayne Goss, England. And I thought, who's in America? And I went, oh, Tom Ford, because I could picture him in his cowboy hat, from Texas. And I thought, who else? Realized that it was towards the end of June, July 4th was coming up, and you guys know that the reason I get into this is not because I'm a makeup artist, but I'm a fashion and beauty editor for, a journalist, and I thought that would be a great story. I'm going to do it on the channel. So in honor of that roundabout way, in honor of July 4th, let's talk about my favorite 25 American beauty brands. We have, America is such a lovely place with so many fantastic, we have immigrants and cultures, every color, every person, and I hope that everyone is well represented in this list. Let me do some honorable mentions first, and then since we are a community, and it's not just about me, tell me who I forgot, because I promise you, whenever I do this, I research for days and days, and then, after I release the video, I'm kicking myself around the block because I forgot someone, so you can let me know. Let me do some honorable mentions really quickly. I think of NARS because they are produced really and headquartered, I believe, here in the US, but I think of Francois NARS as really French, so I left them out. Mob Beauty, I love Mob Beauty, Canadian though, Canadian. I left out Anastasia Beverly Hills, frankly, because I just didn't want to hear it. That's getting a lot of political stuff, and we are not a political channel. We just want to have fun. So, I left out ABH, and I don't know if I should regret it or not. You can tell me down below. I left out RMS Beauty, American. Left it out because, although I think, she's Canadian actually. Okay, so that's okay. I left out Gwen Stefani. I wore her lip gloss because I kind of feel like she did the brand. Hasn't really been around long enough. Surratt, Troy Surratt, definitely American, and we're going to mention Surratt Beauty as we talk about somebody else, but it's all produced in Japan, so I went, maybe not. Smashbox, they have some new releases coming, but they haven't done a lot recently, but that's kind of an honorable mention. KVD gets an honorable mention. Had that weird switch over from Kat Von D. I'm not a huge fan. Milk is an honorable mention. American brand. They haven't done a lot lately. You can yell at me if I should have put them in. Scott Barnes is, I see Scott Barnes more as a makeup artist, though he does have his own line, and perhaps I did Scott dirty leaving him out because he's definitely a great talent. And any other drugstore brand. We don't do drugstore makeup here, but if you think Revlon, Maybelline, all that kind of stuff. You can see who else I left out on the way. I just picked my 25 top, and I have some of my favorite products from these brands here. We are going to go in alphabetical order. That's another thing I did. I'm going in alphabetical order so that there's no shown preference. I'll let the alphabet do it. It's such a shame that I have to have these caveats. Don't worry, it's not patriotic. Don't worry, it's not, just to stay out of the political realm. It's just supposed to be fun. So sorry you had to sit through that. All right, let's get into it. Our top 25 American brands. Hey, don't forget tomorrow, the information will be in the description bar. Don't forget tomorrow is my very first community-wide subscriber live with all sorts of giveaways to celebrate 15,000 subscribers. You can get that information below, 9 a.m. California time. All the times are down below. That's tomorrow, the 5th. All right, here we go. At number 1, going in alphabetical order, is the lovely Kevyn Aucoin Beauty. Now, Kevyn Aucoin, people say Aucoin. I used to show a little reel of Kevyn Aucoin himself pronouncing his own name, but you can go ahead and have a go at me if you want. I don't care. Kevyn Aucoin, of course, is synonymous with the 90s supermodels. Tina Turner's makeup. He did Madonna. He did you guys remember a cameo in Sex and the City? He did Carrie's makeup, the TV show, the original. He did Carrie's makeup. And, you know, Kevyn Aucoin introduced us to contouring, makeup techniques that until then had only been used in the drag scene, and he brought it in. That whole contouring and the way to lay out the face, that was a Kevyn Aucoin specialty, making him pretty much one of the greatest makeup artists of the modern age. In fact, and in 1983 at 21, he was hired by Revlon, and he really was instrumental. You guys, we talk about inclusive makeup. Kevyn Aucoin is the first one who really brought the brands together and did makeup, one brand really for all skin tones. He formed his own brand in 2001, and unfortunately passed away in 2002. Some of you might have his books. He's a published author that taught us all about makeup. Kevyn Aucoin, really, the reason we're here on YouTube is Kevyn Aucoin. He's the first one that started with tutorials and talking to people about it and being known, being a household name, even though he was a behind-the-scenes guy. So I cannot say enough about Kevyn Aucoin, and you should check him out if you don't know who he is. I told you that we would mention Troy Surratt. Surratt Beauty, as you guys know, is one of my favorites, and Troy Surratt is pretty much one of the biggest proteges from Kevyn Aucoin. So I told you we get Surratt in there. All right, let's talk about Benefit. Remember, I'm going in order here. Benefit Cosmetics is, of course, headquartered famously in San Francisco. It is now owned by LVMH. They are not an American company. We can get into the weeds with all that and argue. I still see Benefit as a very American company. 1976 it started when twin sisters Jean and Jane Ford started a brand called The Face Place that they later changed the name to Benefit. And they first sold in Henri Bendel's in New York City, where I used to go as a child. Had all the cool kind of beauty incubator brands, really. They actually, this is a fun little fact about Benefit. I am holding their brow wax, which I really love, and so many of you love the Benefit Tint, which was really the first lip and cheek tint made for the boobies of strippers to make that part of the stripper a little bit more luscious and red and ruby-like. That is true. They won a 2012, I don't know if you guys do this, Guinness Book of World Records record for the most eyebrows waxed in 8 hours. The folks at Benefit waxed 382 eyebrows in 8 hours and won themselves a Guinness Book of World Records record for it, which is actually kind of cool. All right, going in alphabetical order, no list of American brands would be complete without kind of the biggest, because they own so many, Estee Lauder. So Estee Lauder is sometimes vilified. Sometimes we go, Estee Lauder brought them and ruined them. Whether vilified or not, the biggest, probably biggest American brand. Born in 1908, Estee Lauder herself founded her line with her husband in the 40s, and there's all sorts of info there that we could get into if we had the time. I believe she divorced that husband and then remarried that husband, but she did start her line in the 1940s. This is a funny little fun fact that I learned about Estee Lauder. You guys will love this. The Galeries Lafayette in Paris refused to sell her product. So you know the famous Estee Lauder Youth Dew, the scent? She accidentally spilled it on the floor, accidentally. And all the customers are like, what is that delightful scent? I need to buy that. And she just kind of folded her arms and looked at the executives who had said no to her, and they then carried her line, which is really cool. Now, when I say we vilify Estee Lauder, it's because Estee Lauder owns MAC, they own La Mer, Jo Malone, Tom Ford, Clinique, Bobbi Brown, Too Faced, they own Too Faced. They own so many, and so many of us go, Estee Lauder bought them and ruined them. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not. If I talk about American beauty and don't mention Estee Lauder, I would be remiss. Going in alphabetical order, by first name, we're going to go by with Danessa Myricks. Danessa Myricks is a newer name on the scene. Started her line, though, in 2015. Danessa Myricks is a certified New Yorker and a self-taught makeup artist. She's also a photographer and of course an entrepreneur. She does not limit her brand. It's open to every race, age, gender, and she even has a Danessa Myricks University where she teaches. Because Danessa Myricks is self-taught, she plays around with texture, with looks. We love her for skin. I am wearing her Yummy Skin Tint, the new one right now. You can't take it away from me. I absolutely love it. I love all of her complexion products, but so many of us know her for her flakes, the duochromes, and the just wild looks that I think can still be toned down and worn beautifully. But we love Danessa Myricks, definitely an American top 25. Moving on, speaking of inclusivity, we want to talk about Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. I think Fenty Beauty absolutely belongs in here. This was launched in 2017 and was really the first brand to do 50 shades of foundation and show everybody how everyone can be included. After Fenty did 50 shades of foundation, after Rihanna did that, Rihanna's very involved in the brand. There's kind of no excuse anymore for 6 or 8 shades of foundation. If Fenty could do 50, so can you, right? Now, Fenty, the name comes from Robin Rihanna Fenty. Yeah, it's owned by Kendo LVMH, not an American brand. Again, you guys are welcome to get in the weeds with me and discuss it. Rihanna herself is Bahamian, so not really American, but I still think of Fenty as an American brand. Tell me if I shouldn't. I don't know. Up to you guys. All right, next in the list is Glossier. Glossier was founded in 2014 by CEO Emily Weiss. She stepped down actually as CEO in 2022, but she's still on the board. She used to do a blog, I should say, called Into the Gloss while she was simultaneously working at Vogue magazine. And through Into the Gloss, she launched Glossier as kind of an online venture where you could shop and it was shipped directly to you. They had a really youthful glow. They've since gone to Sephora and really taken on a whole new life in doing that. Glossier is famous for their cloud paint cheeks. They are famous for their boy brow, their mascara, their cleansers, their youth dew. They are so popular, and like I said, have found new life at Sephora. Now I'm going quickly through all of these. I would love to just do a highlight. I'd love to do like 10 minutes on every brand, but we can't be here forever. So I'm just flying through them. That was G for Glossier. Let's go to H. We got to go to Haus Labs. That was first launched in 2019. Haus Labs was first launched as Haus Laboratories by Lady Gaga in 2019 and was sold, if you guys remember, exclusively through Amazon. It relaunched, changed its name, shortened it to just Haus Labs from Haus Laboratories, and relaunched in 2022 at Sephora. First, you know, Lady Gaga had done a few fragrance launches and she dipped her toe in the water that way. And in the 2010s, she had, I think, 2 fragrances out. And since then, the relaunch at Sephora has been amazing. My daughters will run you over for the lip oils. I love the foundation. I love the powder. Just, I think now a wonderful brand. Not so well loved in 2019 when it just launched on Amazon, but the revamp has been wonderful and it makes it a fantastic American brand. So the next one, I didn't know to go with Bobbi Brown or not. So Bobbi Brown left her eponymous line and started Jones Road. So I'm going to give it to Jones Road because it really needs to go to Bobbi Brown herself. She is a pioneer, Bobbi Brown, of minimalist natural makeup. She's actually even written 9 books on beauty and wellness. She left Bobbi Brown in 2016. She left the Bobbi Brown brand, which continued owned by LVMH in 2016. She actually did exclusively health and wellness stuff for a while, but she started Jones Road in 2020. And really, frankly, I mean, you know, we know her from the Miracle Ball. I love the face pencil. I love this pink bronzer that I also use as a blush, though her eponymous Bobbi Brown line had one as well. And of course, we know the What the Foundation brought Jones Road into the public eye when it burst onto the scene on TikTok with, who is it, the Meredith one, putting it all over her face and it causing quite a stir. And I think now Jones Road is really a name we all, or 2 names I should say, that we all know. Definitely deserving, Bobbi Brown herself, of being on the list of best American brands. Moving on to a little one, let's talk about Kosas. Kosas is definitely an American brand, founded in 2015 by Shinazade Dali. She was sensitive to sensory touch, so she made sure that everything that Kosas makes is very lightweight and clean and beautiful. I love Kosas products. I'm holding up the foundation here. My daughter and I both enjoy it very much. A really promising kind of newcomer, if you look at it. 2015, it's not that old. And Sheena was a chemistry major at UCI, and she says that in college she changed her skin by using facial oils. And that's what made her interested in forming her own line. Speaking of conditions and health conditions making for skincare and good makeup, let's talk about Annie Lawless. Next on our list is Lawless Beauty. Yes, I am flying through this. We can have more information on any of these that you need. But Annie Lawless founded Lawless Beauty in 2017 when her celiac disease made her kind of look towards holistic medicine and super clean beauty. She calls it clean AF beauty, cleaner than clean. And Lawless has one of my favorite lip glosses, if not my favorite lip gloss on the market. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful products. Let's talk about another small, young brand. Let's talk about LYS, who I am embarrassingly used to call Liss. LYS was founded by Tisha Thompson in 2021. Very new. Tisha had the goal to diversify and unify the clean beauty industry and make sure that all of her products are really under about $30. If you notice when you get an LYS product, everything is in the shape of a triangle. That is, of course, the Delta symbol, which to all of us represents change. So good luck to Tisha as she continues to build what's a very cool little brand. Coming up next, yes, the son of immigrants. Let's talk about Makeup by Mario. I'm going to try it here and probably butcher it. I apologize. We're going to talk a little bit about Mario Davidovic. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Certainly not pronouncing it incorrectly on purpose. As I said, the son of immigrants, Albanian immigrants. He was raised in the Bronx and started work at the Sephora in the Flatiron district of New York City. And at only 17, he famously piled a lot of Sephora products into a Nike shoebox and did the makeup of some up-and-comers just using Sephora products. In 2009, he launched his Masterclass. You guys have all heard of Masterclass. Bobby Brown was on that too. He launched it, and then that led to a 2020 launch of his makeup line in partnership with Sephora. It is hard to think that Makeup by Mario is only 3 years old. Seems like a brand that's been around forever, but it is only 3 years old, and every time something releases from Mario is incredibly exciting. Let's talk about Melt Makeup. This is a California brand. Melt Makeup was founded in 2012. I'm holding up one of their famous palettes. This is the Dark Matter palette by Laura Arellano and Dana Bomer. And they have a little bit of, they're an interesting brand. They have a little bit of a dark, they enjoy to cultivate the dark side of the makeup industry. They've done a Beetlejuice collection, a 420 marijuana collection, really. They've done, and they like to dabble in kind of tattoos and dark makeup and really that kind of artistry on that side of the industry. And they are incredibly creative and incredibly interesting and incredibly true to their aesthetic. And I thought Melt really deserved a spot on this list. Let's talk next about Merit, founded in 2021. That's another young brand by Catherine Power. You might, if you know Who, What, Where. Have you guys ever looked at or read anything in Who, What, Where? That was also founded by Catherine Power. That is a clean, well-edited, accessible, minimalist brand that you guys know I love. They have the minimalist stick in the foundation. They have wonderful, wonderful blushes and lip products. Quick makeup, out the door, super polished. I love Merit. They definitely earned their place in my favorite 25. Cannot leave out Patrick Starrr. One size. Patrick Starrr is a Filipino-American makeup artist and influencer. Patrick Starrr has quickly become famous in quite just a few years for his powders, setting powders, eye powders, and really, really fun formulas. I like to watch his TikToks, which I've seen him actually do with Patrick Ta. Patrick Ta's coming up on the list. And they're really fun. Patrick Starrr has a really kind of inviting, fun personality. Definitely earned his place. Well, I'm going in order. So Patrick Ta is next. Patrick Ta, founded in 2019 by Patrick Ta and a group of investors. Patrick was born in San Diego. His mother owned a nail salon, actually. He owned a tanning salon, but the tanning salon went under. And a roommate of his got him into working on a makeup counter. He encountered Gigi Hadid. I'm cutting out a lot of the details because we're going quickly, but that changed, of course, his life. Patrick Ta, to me, is the king of the powder cream combo. I like to call this flap that separates the powder from the cream, I like to call it the Ta flap. Yeah, Natasha Denona has it too, but I just think it has a nice ring to it. So I like to call that the Ta flap. And Patrick Ta has a really interesting way of putting the cream over the powder, which is a little bit different than how you would think to do it. Something about the way his hand applies makeup is absolutely gorgeous. So here's to you, American Patrick Ta. Now let's move on to Rare Beauty. Yes, Rare Beauty is celebrity owned, but let's give it to Selena Gomez. This was founded in 2019 by Selena Gomez, who really focused on inclusivity and mental health awareness and education. Rare Beauty has these glorious viral liquid cheek tints and lip tints, beautiful eyeshadow palettes. They famously take time away. They'll kind of go off social media. They talk about and point out interesting facts about mental health, depression. They talk about all sorts of issues, and they are some of the first to even speak about this. Now let's talk about Tarte. This is a fresh one right here. This is my this is my Tarte color corrector, which I also call my beloved. Tarte was founded by Maureen Kelly in 1999. Again, Tarte was first seen at Henri Bendel's in New York City. So Kelly was pursuing her PhD in psychology at Columbia University. And the oldest story in the book, she couldn't find good makeup, invented her own, and we got Tarte. Tarte really is a huge American brand. They are extremely prolific, especially lately, and I think make some darn good complexion products. I really, really, really love Tarte, and they have some misses. They have a lot of misses, but much more hits. All right, let's talk about Saie, S-A-I-E, Saie, which is Lainey Cromwell's brand, launched in 2019. She, of course, wanted better, clean beauty. I am holding up actually a refill. I don't know why I grabbed a refill of their really pretty little blush. I love their foundations. They have a small, fun, well-curated, I don't know why I'm holding up this one, but I love all of their products. They're just kind of inventive, different, minimalist, fun, clean beauty. I like Saie a lot. And if you haven't tried them, you should. I think they're really innovative and young, not as young as some of them on here, but young and definitely worth a look. Well, we got to him in alphabetical order. I mentioned him at the beginning in his cowboy hat. Let's talk about Tom Ford. But Tom Ford could not be any more American. He is famously a Texan. Tom Ford started his makeup line with Estee Lauder in 2006. So they were already kind of together. It's not so much that they bought it. Tom Ford, though, this year did famously step down, hand the role of creative director to his next in line, who's been really working hand in hand with him forever. You gotta hand it to Tom Ford. He was at Gucci from 1990 to 2005. YSL, he transformed YSL from 1999 to 2004. That's when we started calling it Saint Laurent. That was definitely Tom Ford. And of course, his own line from 2004 through to present day. He sees his customer as international, well-traveled, sophisticated, cultured, and he said, with disposable income. Well, heck yeah, the palettes are $90. Who else can be immortalized in a Jay-Z song? There's actually a Jay-Z song, if you haven't heard it, called Tom Ford. I would play it now, but I'd get demonetized because I'd have to pay Jay-Z. And he doesn't need my money. You know what I'm saying. But yes, Tom Ford was immortalized. He loves the song, by the way. And he actually was in the House of Gucci movie. He was played by Reeve Carney. Actually, he got a spot. I mean, how cool. He's immortalized in a Jay-Z song. He has somebody play him in the movie about Gucci. I mean, come on, give it up for Tom Ford. That's an American beauty line. I don't care what anybody says. And it's owned by Estee Lauder, which is also American. So American through and through. All right, let's talk about Too Faced. Jared Blondino and Jeremy Johnson. They left in 2022. So Too Faced is no longer with the two founders. This is true. But I kind of just love talking about Jared. You know, he worked at the Estee Lauder makeup counter at Saks Fifth Avenue in a mall near my house called South Coast Plaza. And he would run over on his lunch break and sell his burgeoning Too Faced products at Nordstrom, which is where, and I've told this story before, I met Jared as a high schooler. And Jared came and sat down with me when he was in Nordstrom on his lunch break. I bought some makeup from him at Nordstrom, and he did my makeup and taught me some techniques that I still use. He was just an average guy then. He wasn't the Jared Blondino that we all know. Do you know also that Jared was the first to introduce glitter eyeshadow? It actually goes down as the world's first glitter eyeshadow. That's Too Faced. Hope I'm not blowing through these too fast. Let's talk about Tower 28, going in alphabetical order. Tower 28 has to be American. Amy Lou invented Tower 28 and introduced us to it in 2019 and named it after, does anyone know? A lifeguard tower in Santa Monica on the beach. Yeah, that's right. And I love Tower 28 for all of their inventive products, including I love their lip glosses. Love, love, love. So we got to give it to Tower 28. Another one of our youngins, but a wonderful brand. Couldn't do this without talking about Urban Decay. Whatever you think about Urban Decay, I could not do this without talking about them. Urban Decay is based in Newport Beach, though it is owned by L'Oreal now. L'Oreal's French. That's okay. All right, but it was founded, it's a very American brand. It was founded in 1995 when founders Sandy Lerner and Patricia Helms were sick of boring makeup colors, and they, of course, brought on Wendy Zomner, who we know started Callie Ray. Callie Ray did not make this list. Maybe a little bit too young. Should Callie Ray have made this list? But Wendy's on here anyway. She was hired as creative director. They started with nail polish and lipstick and did amazingly from there. A lot of people bemoan the fact that they say they miss the old Urban Decay when it was shaking up the industry. Here's all my notes. When they were shaking up the industry and really changing things. And now they're a little bit more staid, and Wendy would say, "Don't look at me, I left." Hey, did I leave out Hourglass? How could I have done that? Hourglass was launched in 2004 by Carissa James as an ethical, cruelty-free brand. They still give 1% of their annual profits to the Non-Human Rights Project. That is a nonprofit organization that fights for animal rights, because they say nobody else will. It's not like the animals can't speak for themselves. Hourglass has been a bit controversial through the years. A lot of people say that no matter what, they just can't get inclusive enough. I'll let you guys talk about that in comments, but most definitely an American brand, albeit a little bit of a pricey one. But if you want to talk pricey, let's round off our 25 with Westman Atelier, the brand of that Gucci Westman, famous makeup artist Gucci Westman, launched in 2018. Oh gosh, Gucci, what has Gucci Westman not done? She worked for Lancôme, she worked for Revlon, she's done the makeup of Halle Berry and Gwyneth Paltrow, she's been in movies, she actually had an appearance in the Sex and the City movie, she's done runway shows. There's nothing professionally in the beauty industry that Gucci Westman hasn't done, except at the time her own makeup line. So in 2018 she launched that. I'm actually holding up one of the newest, the little glowing skin tint that I actually have a review. You saw the review already, actually. I really, really like it. Although sometimes I do complain about the Westman Atelier prices. I would be wrong to leave Gucci Westman off this list. Now, I ran through that probably without taking a breath, because I know you guys are busy. And if you're in the US, you might even be off to celebrate the 4th of July. But tell me who I left off. Did I give Scott Barnes a raw deal? Should he have been on here? How about Callie Ray? I didn't put Callie Ray on here. What do you guys think? And who am I going to kick myself? Like, I didn't do Bobbi Brown exactly, but I did Jones Road, so I felt I got her in there. Should I have put MAC in anyway? Should I have not put Fenty in? I think of them as American, but Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. What about NARS? What about GIF? Should I have put GIF in there? Should I have put GIF in there? Should I have put Smashbox in or Milk? Let me know what you guys think, because look at all my notes here. I just ran through those quickly, but I just had such a fun time. And thankfully, when I started thinking about it, there were more and more. And I know I'm going to kick myself leaving someone off here. So tell me, please, who is your favorite American brand? You don't have to be American to say it. You don't have to wave a U.S. flag, but who is your favorite American that you think of as American? You guys can get in the weeds with me if you want to say that an LVMH brand, therefore, or Lancôme, therefore, is not American. Fair enough. Let's have a discussion. This is not me on a soapbox. The video is just for fun and to generate conversation in the comments. You're more than welcome to disagree with me, as long as we're all civil to one another. I love the discussion. I love the debate. I love all of it. So definitely weigh in down below on this July 4th. Don't forget that tomorrow is my very first ever community live to celebrate 15,000 subscribers. All sorts of good stuff to give away. So I do hope I'll see you there, but the details for that are down below. So make sure you've subscribed if you haven't. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Tell me if you like this kind of journalistic content, or you just prefer the makeup reviews. Let me know, because I don't know. I am a journalist at heart, you guys. I can't help it, even though we ran through this so quickly. I even want to start doing some interviews on this channel too, and you can let me know if you're interested in that kind of journalism, beauty journalism stuff. In addition, I won't stop doing the new reviews though. I know you guys like those. I won't stop doing that. So let me know all of those things. Don't forget to join me over on TikTok and Instagram, and you can become a bigger part of this channel by becoming a channel member, or you can give super thanks. But in any way that you are here, I'm just thrilled to see you, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.